EA Sports welcomes you to Huntington Bank Field here in downtown Cleveland, Ohio. Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. And off we go from Cleveland. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And they'll bring Judy in motion right. They'll run it. Here's the rookie from Ohio State. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Here's Flacco. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he is going to have a Browns first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great. Because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
This short pass into the hands of Njoku. Short completion, just 4 yards. 3rd and 7 now.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Now Flacco. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 27-yard line. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
This is caught. Touchdown, Browns. From 17 yards out. And the Browns are on the board first here this afternoon. That was a really good opening drive on a number of fronts. 10 plays, very methodical, set the tone.
So you know right now, if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're on the sideline saying, okay, what do we have to dial up in order to get off the field a lot faster? Because both sides are out there for 10 plays, but one side comes off energized, and the other side comes off with some questions.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's complete. He finds Jaden Reed. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. 2 yards to go, 2nd down. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Throwing. Love. Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Completes it again to Doubs. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the 1st as well. 2 carries for him now on the opening drive, both for good yardage.
And based on film study, they thought that there was a chance to spring him more than once for some pretty good yardage in this game.
On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Now 2nd and 9. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. Down right around the 25. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st. Eighth play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Love looking to throw it. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. The linebacker Jordan Hicks flying in there for the sack.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. The kick by McManus is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he powers his way up past the 30. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's third down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Flacco looks to throw. Gets this over the middle to Tillman. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. Call it a gain of a yard, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Fielded just inside the 20. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Now Love. This complete to the tight end, Tucker Kraft. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll get about 2 there to the 36.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. Love now. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on third down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
On fourth down, the Packers call on Daniel Whelan to punt. DeAndre Carter back deep. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Browns will take over, first and 10. Here's Flacco. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football. Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd and 2. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front 3, your front 4, your front 5, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit, and that's what he did on that play.
That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there, and what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit, because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. To the 43, 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 43, here's a 2nd down and 6. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run, because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to get the football back again.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something?
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Back, the first thought is, how physical is the offensive line? Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Here's Love. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. On the return, Carter. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still, they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Now it's Flacco. Pass caught. He's got Tillman. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
2nd down and 6 now. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
Setting up to throw, Flacco. That is caught. And the Browns are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Flacco. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Deontay Johnson, a 5-yard touchdown, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
In motion goes the tight end. To pass, here's Jordan Love. Able to find his man, Kraft. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd and 3. To throw now. Here's Love. He's got the hook up with Dobbs. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down. Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Love. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
A great job defensively taking away his receivers, and he was forced to put that one into Lake Erie, but that's what good quarterbacks do. They don't take unnecessary chances if they don't have to.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Love from the gun on 3rd down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the 1st down. Now to be 4th and short.
And here's Daniel wheeling on now to punt. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. The slot man in motion right. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. Brought down that time by Quay Walker.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
2nd and 5. Flacco. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he's going to have a Browns 1st down as he's able to take this up to the 30-yard line.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Passing play, Flacco. Open man, he completes it to Judy. So the completion gets him just a yard, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 9. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll be tackled at about the 35.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. To pass, Flacco. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the 1st half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. on 2nd and 9. Love. He finds his man. Complete. It's Jacobs. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle him for just a short gain.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun on 3rd down. Love. And a flag comes out as that is batted down and incomplete. But I think there was early contact. Let's check the call. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Love steps away. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And the Browns will take over here at their own 12-yard line. They get the pick. Now what can Flacco do on 1st down? And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Right back to Njoku. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Here's Flacco. That's going to be caught by Judy. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Second down and a yard. Now Flacco. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Now Flacco. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
This offense is looking very comfortable here in this first half. Very relaxed, very smooth, very efficient. No wasted motions. Things are definitely going their way, and they continue to move the ball downfield.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. Hopkins' kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. 17-3 the score as we resume action for the second half on EA Sports. Here's Mecole Hardman taking it about the 1. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. In the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense has thrown at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that will bring up 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Here's Jacobs from the gun. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 51 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Love looking to throw it. He's going to let this one go deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Now a 2nd and 10. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had the incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Throwing. Love. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Pretty good location there on that throw.
It really was, wasn't it? That was likely one where the receiver was either going to catch it or no one. Really good decision. And, boy, what a catch and move right there.
And a tough spot to get it over the middle. That's going to be caught downfield by Reed. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Jaden Reed, 44 yards. And the Packers have cut it back within a score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the 3rd quarter. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a 1-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a 1-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
Throw left side. He's got Tillman. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
Here now, 2nd and 4. From the gun, Flacco. Here's Johnson with a reception. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
On second down, they'll run it here. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. Flacco looks to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack to about the 26 here.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Balled it to 26, 2nd and 7. A quick throw caught out wide by Judy. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 75 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Here's Flacco. That is caught. And he is going to have a Browns first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Here is 3rd down and 4. Setting up to throw, Flacco. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Browns are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. It'll go as a loss of 8 and a tough result there on 1st and goal.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, 1st down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on 2nd down.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great play there with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Browns have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
You get in a second and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
61 yards rushing for him now to this point.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it, but the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On the out route, Dobbs brings it in. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. A handoff, Jacobs running to the left. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Call it a gain of 5 that time. They'll be left with a third down and about 9 to go.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's Love. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, that's where this Cleveland crowd, the dog pound in particular, make it difficult on opposing offenses. It looked like they might have had troubles communicating at the line, and it leads to the incompletion. On now is the Packers punter, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Here comes Carter. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And they will take over 1st and 10. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation, because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence that they're going to put more points up on the board.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Solid way to start the drive, 13 yards, picking up the first.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Now it's Flacco. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Flacco. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Johnson. It'll be a gain of 5. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
And he is going to have a Browns first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2. First target, first catch, and a first down. So both teams trade touchdowns in the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. Flacco. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
On second down, they'll run it here. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 115 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
As I take a look at the clock, I realize that this drive has eaten up a good portion of the 4th quarter already. Got to tell you, partner, when you're trying to salt away a game, this is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. 3 touchdown passes now for Joe Flacco. And the Browns have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Now the Packers get set to go. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I ever see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Working out of the gun. Love. Short throw. He's got Kraft. So they will tread backward on the holding penalty.
And I know that they're going to get coached up and they'll get yelled at a little bit, but let's face it, it is hard not to do at the speed and pace that they play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Now Love. Right side to Watson. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. The Packers on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. Here it's 3rd and 3. To pass, here's Jordan Love. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
Desperation time here. Love on 4th down. Open man, he's got Reed. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw now, here's Love. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there, as that's batted down and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's 2nd and 10. To the air again, Love. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know, they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. Love. Slant route, he's got Dobbs. So it's a gain of 12 there on the reception. And 3rd and 8 now.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And that's knocked away and incomplete. Now defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And this Browns defense stands tall. They'll start this drive out on the ground. He'll get this to about the 38.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The Browns send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Love and the Packers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Love looking to throw it. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
Partner, when you see a screen pass and the defensive tackle ends up making the play, you know that one wasn't sold well at all, because he should be upfield by the time you throw the pass. If not, you end up with big trouble, as we just saw right there.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Jerome Baker just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out, and a 5-yard penalty. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters, as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Love now. He finds his man, complete. That's Reed. Hook up a 15 yards there. And that's going to make it 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet? And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. That's complete to Dobbs. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. You don't see too many conversions on 4th and 10, but we just did there. A gain of 14 and a 1st down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Throwing. Love. Quick slant to Watson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will.
Time running short here in the 4th quarter. You're down 3 scores, and I think you've got a defense here saying we just need to prevent the home run. So good, smart offensive coordinator can use that as an advantage, and that's a nice throw there to pick up the 1st down.
Completed out left to Dobbs. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down. Back to throw again. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
2nd and 10. Going back to Love. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 35. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
That is caught inside the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Jordan Love. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Packers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And the lead will be cut down to 14. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them. And field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Cleveland offense making their way out. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. He's going to get it again, just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Third and 12. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Browns send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. So here's Love and the Packers. Down by 2 touchdowns. Just over 1:40 to play. Field goals, useless at this point. They need 2 touchdowns, and they need them in short order. Love. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Love looking to throw it. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Reed.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Well, this crowd trying to force a false start here. 3rd and inches. To Dobbs, and he hauls it in. And he is going to have a Packers first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
For many people, that's not your standard play call in that 3rd down situation. But for so many offenses, they just want the ball in the hands of their playmakers in open space. And after he caught it, he did a nice job picking up the first down.
Now Love. He's going to let it fly. That's caught inside the 20. And he takes this one into the end zone. And all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Here's Love. And they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere, seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
So with 40 seconds left, we'll see the onside kick. If they've ever needed one to go their way, it's now. And this will be recovered by the Browns hands team, and that should just about write a finish to this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
To a knee goes Flacco, and that should be it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So it's a win here for the Cleveland Browns, and it was thanks in large part to the play of the man who's been doing this for a while, their veteran quarterback.
Yeah, you had to like what you saw. He was on point the whole game. Wound up going over 300 yards with 3 touchdown passes. That will definitely get the job done.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Browns, and they're happy in the dog pound as we say so long from Cleveland.